What's up? Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And today we want to get into the matchups of the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Second go around. Um, as we know, the first one didn't go as planned, at least for the Steelers. So this time the Bengals are coming to Pittsburgh. So um, hopefully, we have a better outcome and a different outcome than the first time. Um, I think for the most part, the Bengals are pretty much the same. Joe Burrow, he's returned to practice, but I don't think he's going. Well, not he's not going to play this week, but it seems like he's probably going to be back next week or definitely the week after next for sure. Um, as far as the Steelers are, I guess you could say the Steelers kind of and did some changes, definitely on the defensive side. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet. Maybe uh, MVS will play this week, and so that'll be a little different. Like I say, the Bengals have probably one of the worst defenses in the NFL, if not the worst. So we'll see. We'll see how this game go. So let's talk about it and kind of just go through these matchups and see what's going on. So, as you know, this is week 11. Man, it just seemed like the season just started. So this is week 11. Right now, the Steelers are 5-4, still in first place by one game over the Baltimore Ravens. Cincinnati is 3-6. Um, they hanging around, I guess you could say. And this win here would go a big way of getting them right back. That'll put them a game out. That would actually put them a game out from being in first place. And on top of that, you had two victories over the Steelers. So this is really a big game for them. This is a big game. Then, like I said, you got Joe Burrow coming back, which I really think that's probably got them, very confident and feeling good about themselves. So Cincinnati's going to come and they're trying to win this game. This is a big game for them, and so these guys are gonna come out here and try to do what they did a few weeks ago and see if they can do it again. So with that said, we're gonna go right into the matchup. So the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco. Um, they have been kind of labeling this game the Bengay Bowl. You got two old quarterbacks. I mean, you add the ages together, they're about 80 years old. Um, you see, I mean, you know how the first one went. Um, Flacco was well over 300 some yards. Rodgers really didn't have a good game. I mean, he did okay. He did okay. Actually, to be honest, that was a game. If you just wasn't a Bengals fan or a Steelers fan, that was a very entertaining game, actually. Just as just being a football fan, it was a very entertaining game. Basically both teams was going up and down the field, a lot of offense in that game. So um, maybe we can get another game like that, but hopefully this time it'll be a little bit better for the Steelers. But with that said, I have to just be honest, and I got to go off of what you put on film last, and what they even put on film last. Flacco threw for like 400 some yards, 3-4 touchdowns against the Bears, which is a 6-3 team playing decent football compared to what Rodgers. What we seen from Rodgers last Sunday, again, and at this point is behind me. I still don't know what that was about. what was going on there. Um, I think, to be honest, only Rodgers know what was going on with that game. I have no idea. So, with that said, I'm giving the quarterback upper hand to Joe Flacco. And like I said, it's basically of what you put on film last. And what Rodgers put on film last was something terrible. So we'll see how that go. As far as the running back, I really think if the Steelers dedicate themselves to the running game and give Warren at least 25 touches, he can be very successful against the Bengals defense. I think he can put up some big numbers, especially catching the ball out the backfield, and just give him 25 carries. He needs 25 carries, and just make him a workhorse for this game. Make him a workhorse. Give him the carries, and I think he'll produce. Chad Brown, actually, he had been struggling all year, and then till he played the Steelers, and he ended up having a um a good game for a change. But the Steelers defense have actually kind of cracked down on the run a little bit, and I think with Cincinnati's offensive line, I think the Steelers can really kind of bottle him up a little bit. So as far as the running backs, I'm giving the running backs to Jamar to Warren. I think Warren is going to have a big game, and like I say, it's all about if the Steelers commit to the run game. That's all they really need to do. Wide receivers, do we really even got to talk about this? It's really basically two studs against one guy. Um, Chase and Higgins. These guys have been a thorn in the Pittsburgh Steelers side since they came into the league. Really haven't stopped them guys from doing whatever they want to do. Uh, Hopefully, the Steelers can kind of change up their scheme a little bit. To me personally, I mean, you can still play zone, I guess, if you want, but you have to be bumped. You got to get hands on these guys to give your edge rushers at least an extra second, 2 seconds to get to the quarterback and mess up the timing of these routes. Because if we just sit back 7 yards off, it's gonna be a long day again. Basically with the Steelers, I mean you got DK Metcalf, and I can't even tell you what else. I mean you got Austin, but it's kind of seemed like he's digressing a little bit. So it's really even no competition here. The Cincinnati Bengals, they win that matchup. Tight ends. Well, again, it's the same way. It's three against one. Um, Steelers like they love their tight end sets. You got far move. Now listen, all you gamblers out there, all you fantasy league players, if you have Pat Firemove, play him. Play him because for some reason, I don't know what it is, color of the uniforms or what. Um, he Firemove eats the Cincinnati Bengals up every time he play him. I mean, if you don't believe me, just look it up. You look it up. His career highs are everything against the Cincinnati Bengals. So play Firemove. I still look for him to have a big game. Maybe they can get Washington going and don't really have to have him on the line blocking and doing all that crap. So with that said, real simple. Pittsburgh Steelers had an edge, tight end wise. Offensive line, really you got two offensive lines to me that's struggling. Um, Now Cincinnati offensive line, the first game, they actually played very well. I don't know who the heck's was in those uniforms, but they played very well, and it was part of the scheme. Flacco was getting the ball out of his hand very quick, so the offensive, I mean the edges, T.J. Watt and all of them guys didn't even have time to even get to him. Um, the Steelers' offensive line, I think, even though they kind of struggle pass protection, but I mean, other than Troy Henderson, Cincinnati really don't have guys that right now that can really rush the quarterback. That's really a big threat. So I'm going to give the Steelers offensive line the benefit of the doubt that they should be able to hold up against Cincinnati as far as giving Rodgers time to do whatever he has to do. But also, I think the Steelers can run the ball against Cincinnati's front, especially when they go with the big personnel. That's where they've been having a lot of their success running the ball. And with that said, I'm gonna give the matchup to the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. So right now, as you can see, I'm giving Cincinnati the edge at the quarterback position, Steelers the edge at the running back position. Cincinnati definitely has the edge at the receiver position, and then the tight end position and the offensive line. I'm giving that matchup to the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, let's move over to the defensive side. The edge defensive end. So as far as Cincinnati, you got Trey Henderson, led the league in sacks last year. Not having a great year this year. Started the year off fighting with the team about his contract and actually still kind of fighting with them. I mean, they gave him a little money, but they didn't give him what he was looking for. I think he had some injuries, so he haven't really played a lot. I think he got like 4 sacks right now. So he's really their only threat of getting to the quarterback. And to be honest, I think his mind is probably Cancun right now. He's doing the Cancun thing, and also probably looking forward to free agency. So he's trying to stay healthy. He's trying not to get hurt, and I really believe he ain't kind of checked out. So he won't be his normal self trying to get to the quarterback. As far as the Steelers, like I say, the Steelers are doing a little different things on defense. A lot of times now, you will see that combination of Highsmith, Herbert, and Watt out there, and that's just going to be a lot. That should really be a lot, and that should overwhelm the Bengals offensive line. And I think if the Steelers make some adjustments on with these receivers and trying to hold those guys up a little bit and make Flacco hold on to that ball a little bit longer, it should be a real good day for the Steelers edges. So with that said, I'm giving that matchup definitely to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Defensive tackles, again, Cincinnati really don't have anybody there, nothing that I would never say to worry about, because I mean the guys on the Bengals side, they get paid too. They cash checks too. So I'll never disrespect them like that. But I think the Steelers just got more talent with Hayward and Benton and Harmon. Steelers just got more talent at the defensive tackle position, and the Steelers definitely had an edge there. Linebackers. Patrick Queen's on and off a little bit. He had a good game. Well, he had a decent game last week as far as tackling. Still missed a couple tackles here and there. Peyton Wilson, it seems like, especially when the Steelers play this, when they kind of get in that 4-3 look, is really kind of elevating Wilson's game a little bit. Seems like he's a little bit more comfortable in that defense, and he's playing fast, and he's making plays. So I think from the linebacker position, I think the Steelers definitely got the edge there. Cincinnati, again, nobody that you got to really worry about and scheme up for. So that's the easy pick. I think I'm taking the Steelers with the linebackers. Corners, again, same thing. I don't expect to see Samuels playing today, but eventually he'll be in that mix, and I think he'll be cornerback too. Uh, so right now, this is the this is gonna be a little tricky. Um, I'm definitely taking the Steelers as far as talent, but this is gonna be a big test for them because on the other side of Porter, in which I mean, let's just keep a buck a buck. It ain't Porter's not nothing really to write home about, especially going up against these guys. But on the other side of him, I'm assuming it's gonna have to be Pierre. Pierre is probably gonna get a start, and I want to say for some reason I remember him maybe starting last year against Cincinnati, and it didn't really go too good. I want to say that was a game where Wilson threw for like 400 or 500 yards or whatever he did. But we'll see how it go. I'm assuming Eccles is gonna stay in the slot because he's really not an outside guy, and at his size, that's gonna definitely be a mismatch for him. So I think Pierre is gonna get to start, and we'll see how that shakes down for them. But again, I'm giving the Steelers the edge in the cornerback position, safety position, same thing. I mean, you got Battle, which is actually Battle is a good player, very good player. He gets down um, for the run. He sticks his nose in there. He has like three pass, interceptions, like four pass defense. So he's actually having a decent year. Right now, the Steelers with Dugan and Ramsey at the corner position. I mean, excuse me, at the safeties positions. This will be Ramsey first time because the first time they played, Ramsey was actually playing corner. So now he's playing safety. So he's probably going to be over top of Chase more than likely. So again, I give that advantage to the Steelers. Um, so as you can see, it's a clean sweep. It's a clean sweep on defense, and like I say, Cincinnati really, really probably has the worst defense in the league. I mean, they're just bad. They're bad, 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 and so hopefully we get a better outcome than last time, and the Steelers, just get their stuff together and play the way they should play. Special teams, you got two good kickers here. Um, I'm always gonna take the Boz, even though I'm probably expecting this field to be trash because I know Pitt plays Notre Dame tomorrow. Yeah, they play Notre Dame tomorrow at Pittsburgh. So this is the field's gonna be played on before they play, and it's gonna be divots all over. I mean, to me that's unexcusable. I don't know why if these two teams have to share this stadium, it should be field turf. All this, replacing the grass and to me, honestly, and it's really hard to say, but the Steelers lost two players on that field. With their knees getting stuck in the turf and blowing their knees out. So, with that said, I'm giving the upper hand to the Steelers on special teams, coaching. Um, I don't know. The Steelers man, Arthur Smith, he's heckling. He's heckling. I mean, who knows with him? I don't know what bag he gonna pull. You know, is he gonna stick to the running game, which he should? Is he gonna come out here and try to throw the ball 50 times? I just don't know. You really don't know with Arthur Smith. But I tell you this, I'm done. I'm checked out on this offense. And me personally, I believe Aaron Rodgers is kind of checked out on his offense. And I had made the comment to our group in our little chat we have. I believe Rodgers is going to basically he's going to hijack his offense, and he's about to run the offense. He's really the offensive coordinator because I really think Rodgers is kind of done with Arthur Smith, and he's probably trying to keep the peace or trying not to look like everything everybody was saying how Aaron Rodgers was going to act and all that. So I think in a low key way, he's trying not to be that. But I think he's also going to take over this offense and just kind of do his thing. Defensively, like I said, the Steelers have been doing a little different stuff, and they need to definitely keep that up and either tweak some coverages even more this week. As far as Cincinnati, not nothing special. Actually, I think their coach, this may be it for him. He could definitely, and granted, it's not a lot of it is not his fault. I mean, you got your quarterback basically got hurt week 1, week 2, but I think at this point it just might be time. And but Cincinnati is kind of like how the Steelers are as far as they want to hold on to a coach, especially if he got years left on his contract. They're definitely not trying to pay a guy that got years left on his contract. Even though, I don't know about Cincinnati's coach. If he gets fired, it's a possibility he gotta go the offensive coordinator route and then build himself back up to get a starting position. So actually, the Bengals probably will owe him money because at best he could get a coordinator job, and that's not going to add up to the money that they're paying him paying him as a coach. So they're going to owe him some money. That's why I be laughing at people when they always be saying, even with Mike Tomlin, one of the reasons. I mean, we understand how the Steelers are with their coaches. I mean, it's history tells you that, but it's not a big thing money wise for the Steelers to move on from Mike Tomlin because unless Mike Tomlin just decides to say, I'm taking a break, I'm gonna sit out a year, then obviously the Steelers are owing money. But other than that, Mike Tomlin gonna get somebody's gonna hire him quick. So at the end of the day, the Steelers will be getting off the hook for any money that they own. So that's another kind of myth. Everybody's always talking about what the Steelers, and another reason they won't get rid of him because they don't want to pay him, but they really wouldn't have to. But anyway, with that said, I'm giving the coaching to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers can out coach these guys and like I say, especially on the defensive side, come up with some different type schemes to help them out a little bit and go from there. All right, here we go. Prediction time. So who's going to win this game? Who's going to win this game? This is a very important game, but like I say, for both teams. I mean, Pittsburgh got Baltimore breathing down their neck. I think Baltimore is playing the Cleveland Browns, so you will almost have to say that's more than likely going to be a win for them. And the Steelers really need to win this game just to keep Baltimore off of them. And Cincinnati, like I say, you getting Joe Burrow back. You win this game. You beat the Steelers twice. You one game out, behind them. So this is a real important game here. But with that said, I'm going Steelers 28-27. I think it's going to be a close game. Almost a game that could go either way. But the only thing I will say, usually when the Steelers, you know, have an embarrassing game, lose a game, come back home, they kind of find their way and get that job done. And so that's kind of what I believe is going to happen here. So I think it's going to be another entertaining game, but I think the Steelers find a way to ink it out, and Steelers get a 28-27 victory, go to 6-4. Probably more than likely just keep that one game lead over Baltimore. I think Baltimore beats Cleveland. This would be a kind of devastating loss for Cincinnati, but like I say, they're still right there. So and you're getting Burrow back. But with that said, that is it. And we'll talk to you guys on Sunday for the pregame show. Finally, the Steelers playing a 1:00 game, so we won't have to be up in the wee hours of the morning talking. And that's it for now. So you guys take care. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will talk to you on Sunday after a Pittsburgh Steelers win, hopefully. All right, take care. I'm out. Bye-bye.